medyo passive siya in nature. At i-compare natin siya sa isang more recent sports website. Ito naman ang dyaryo ng present age. So this is Tiebreaker Times. At makikita nyo yung difference niya dito sa previous photo. Ito medyo passive. Ito, may sort of interaction na nangyayari. So towards the right side, may makikita po tayo na trending page. So may interaction yung website with its users. So the more clicks na nag-generate ng isang article, the more siya na nagtitrend. And then makikita natin sa upper right corner, meron tayong share buttons. Di ba? Meron tayong Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube na mga icons. And delving deeper dito sa isang article, meron tayong responses. Di ba? Meron tayong mood meter, kumbaga. So, mapifeel natin kung gusto natin ba yung article or hindi. And then, more importantly, meron siyang comment section. So, ikukumpara niyo dun sa New York Times na screenshot, wala siyang comment section. So, precisely this need for interaction about the things that people see online drove the next phase of the internet, which is social media. Yung need ng mga tao na mag-usap about the things that they read or they see in the internet drove now to what is social media ngayon. Yung need to express themselves in the online world. So, sino nakakaalala nito? Alright, I'll share my screen again. Apologies. Alright. Ayan. So, sino nakakaalala nito? Medyo wala. But this is ito yung unang itsura ng Facebook. Tinatawag ko siyang The Facebook. Ito, parang marami sa atin na nakaka-relate. Ito ang Friendster. Okay? Okay. So, that was social media. And now, this is the third phase of the internet called the Internet of Things. Sa Internet of Things, the phase, we do things in our real life dito sa internet. So yung mga nagagawa natin na everyday activities, pwede na natin gawin through online or through our mobile devices or gadgets. So can you think of an example that you do in the real world na pwede na ngayong gawin sa internet? Sige. I'll wait for like 30 seconds. So pag-isipan natin, ano ba yung mga ginagawa natin before na ngayon pwede na natin gawin online? Sige, let's see. Sige, pag-isipan natin. Yan, sabi ni Miss Mylene, payment of bills and banking, precisely. Pwede na tayong magbayad ngayon ng bills. Hindi na natin kailangan physically pumunta sa bangko para mag-transact. Pwede natin gawin through our app in our phone. And of course, ito, favorite to ng ating mga kaguruan at ating mga school personnel. Yan, Lazada at Shopee. Biktima tayo nito kasi, syempre, ngayon, di ba? Sinong nabiktima dito ng 9/9, September 9? Ako, biktima ako. So, yun, nakakapag-shopping na tayo online ngayon compared before. Di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan pumunta sa store physically. Pwede ka nang nasa bahay lang, nasa sofa mo or nasa kama, tapos nagsuscroll ka lang sa picture sa phone mo at pwede ka nang bumili ng mga items. Ang dami na ngayon pwedeng bilhin online. Okay, so i-correspond natin ang major phases of the internet with child online protection concerns. So there, as mentioned, these are the 3 phases of the internet. And correspondingly, sa ating child online protection, meron din namang nag-a-arise ng mga risks and harms. And there are people who are who don't have any good intentions that also exist in the internet. So while the internet is a very broad scape, it's a new platform, it's a new world. People like you and me exist in that space, and at the same time, perpetrators also exist in that space. And sometimes lang naman, as Okay, this is just we're just a couple of slides in, so later on mas magiging intense pa ang ating discussion. Okay, so leading towards a digital age now. Ito yung statistics na generate ni We Social. And ano po yung nakikita nyo dito sa ating infographic? Sige, sa gitnang infographic, yung blue, it says na there are 76 million internet users in the Philippines. 76 million. So ang internet penetration rate nga, or yung percentage of the population na may internet, is 71%. Mataas siya. 71% of the entire population has an internet connection or is participating online. So katabi naman niya, yung orange, is the infographic on active social media users. So tingnan niyo po, magkaparehas, di ba? So parehas sila na yung active social media users at internet users ay 76 million or 71% of the population. So it can be assumed na ang mga tao, ang mga Pilipino ay nasa internet kasi nasa social media sila. And katabi noon, yung mobile social media use, 72 million or 67% of the population use the internet or use the social media via their mobile phones. So, pag nilay-nilayan po natin ang statistiko na ito. Okay, this is time per day spent using the internet. Okay, so yung worldwide average ay 6 hours. Asan yung mga Pinoy dito? Nasa pinaka-una tayo. On average, we use the internet for 10 hours every day. So imagine mo na lang there's 24 hours in the day. So assuming na natutulog ka 8 hours a day. Assuming na 8 hours a day nasa office ka o nagtatrabaho ka. So the remainder of that is spent online. So, the worldwide average is 6 hours. And does that reflect on your social media use or internet use? Let's see. Okay, since mataas ang ating number of hours spent on average in the internet, ayan, may statistics din si We Social about the top 10 websites in the Philippines. Okay, first is a social media site, second, Google, fourth, YouTube videos, 5, Yahoo, another search function, and number 6 is not so good. Number 6 is a pornographic website. Number 7 is a social media website. Number 8 is Wikipedia. Ito yung ginagamit ng mga learners natin na mag-search ng assignment. Wikipedia.com. Number 9 is another adult website. And number 10 is a shopping website. So, top 10 websites, dalawa ay pornographic or adult websites. So it's very ironic kasi we are a religious community, we are a religious culture. Pero nandito sa statistics natin na dalawang adult website ay dalawa sa top 10 websites ay adult. So, pag nilay-nilayan natin. And actually, hindi pa po ito disaggregated as per age. Kasi parang ang mini-measure lang po nito ay yung users online. So, yung users naman online, walang age limit or walang age marker. So, everyone, the Philippines as a whole is being measured. And dalawa sa top 10 websites are adult or pornographic websites. Now, this is pretty much weird. And this is the statistics based on a study conducted by Stairway Foundation on the internet and the use of the children of the internet. 5 in 10 of the children surveyed, so 50%, report that they don't talk to anyone about their online activity. So 5 out of 10, so that's 50% of the children surveyed that they don't talk to anyone about their online activity. Okay, it's nagiging intense. Let's take a moment, let's take a beat. All right, so when we talk about the digital landscape and what yung anong meron sa internet. Hindi lang naman siya technology. It's not just technology, no. It's not how people create something, invent something that will enable the progression of technology. Hindi lang ganun, but it also is about culture, yung behavior natin as individuals and people and as users in the internet. So kung anong present or kung anong meron sa internet is shaped also by the people that exist in it. So kung anong klaseng kultura na meron tayo sa ating social media sites, part of it is what creates it. Part of it is what is created by us. So yung behaviors ng ating mga users online, kasi dyan napapansin nyo na kung toxic, quote-unquote toxic ang inyong newsfeed, it's possible na yung mga pages na fina-follow nyo can be labeled as toxic. Kaya kung friendly or encouraging or inviting ang inyong mga Facebook pages or yung newsfeed nyo, it's because you follow or you exist in the same space as people who also boost you up and promote positivity. So it's not just about technological advancement as a whole, but it's about our behavior in the online world. And conversely also of children. Kasi the digital culture is shaped by people, and at the same time, people are shaped by technology and what is digital. So syempre, di ba nagpo-progress yung ating pag-use ng internet at yung kung anong bago sa internet. So nakikita nyo naman na may mga bagong apps na nag-emerge, may bagong mga social media na nag-emerge. So these are technological progressions and these are developments, but at the same time, people populate these things. And as people populate these online spaces, nasi-shape din siya at nagtatransform. And this is what composes the digital culture. Okay, so since we're talking about all things digital, we talk about the digital divide. Okay, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng digital divide? Instead of talking to you about it, maybe I'll show you and I'll illustrate what is the digital divide. Okay, classic. Sino pong nakakaalam kung ano to? Sound off sa comments or sa chat box. Ano to? Okay, tingnan natin kung sino yung mga nag-chat. Ano yan? Oh yeah, great. That's a cassette tape. Tama. Okay. Ano naman to? Lapis. So anong connection ni cassette tape sa lapis? So when we do nung nagka-conduct pa kami ng face-to-face trainings, yung mga tao, gumaganyan sila ng motion. Di ba? Kasi you use the pencil to rewind the cassette tape. But children nowadays do not know yung relationship ni cassette tape at ni pencil. So, when our partners, Stereo Foundation, pinakita nila to sa mga bata. Tapos sabi ng mga bata, anong relationship ng dalawang to? Kasi never nilang na-experience na mag-rewind ng cassette tape using a pencil. Tama? Okay. So ngayon naman, kayo naman ang tatanungin ko. Alam niyo ba to? Sound off sa comments. Kung alam niyo kung ano to. iPad. Actually, hindi po yan iPad. That's Spotify. It is an iPad, yes. Pero makikita niyo naman yung app dyan. So, kung nakikinig po kayo before through a cassette tape, mga bata naman ngayon nakikinig ng music through Spotify. Ayan. So, that's one way of illustrating the digital divide, di ba? Parang hindi nyo alam kung anong meron na ginagawa nila ngayon kasi iba yung learned experiences nyo before. So, and this pertains also to something technological or digital in nature. Kaya may divide. Sige, that's one way of experiencing it or illustrating it. So sa Spotify, it's another app or a website kung saan nagpe-play ng music online and then you can actually make playlists tapos share mo yung mga playlists na yun sa friend. May interaction siya na part. Okay. Question. Children are growing up with technology and as adults, are we catching up or at least understand it? So pag nilayan po natin ang mga question nito, naiintindihan po ba natin nakaka-catch up po ba tayo or at least naiintindihan natin kung ano mga ginagawa nila in the internet or in the online world. Okay, this is a fun bit and I want you to sound off in the comments kung alam niyo po ang mga pop culture references na ito. Ayan, sino nakakilala sa kanila? Maybe it's not your generation, but this is Eddie Gutierrez and Gloria Romero. Yan yung mga artista ng ating mga trads. Ito, syempre, ang gumawa kasi ng PowerPoint na ito, si Guy and Pip. Noranian kasi ang gumawa ng PowerPoint na ito. Yung parents in Noranian. So, that's Guy and Pip. Yan yung mga sikat dati, di ba? Napag-aalaman na kung anong generation tayo. Yan, okay. Of course. Let's see sa comment. Tama, that's entertainment. Anong group? Anong group? Anong group po sila? Wednesday group, sabi ni Miss Rita. Very good. That's the Wednesday group. And for sure, Miss Rita, kilala mo lahat ng mga yan. Tama? And ito yung sikat ng kapanahunan ko. Ito yung Tabing Ilog naman. Yan, si John Lloyd, si Desiree Del Valle. O di ba? Kilala ko yung mga taong to kasi I grew up watching them. Ito yung mga sikat para sa mga learners at sa ating mga children ngayon. Si Catherine Bernardo at si Daniel. Ano yung ship name nila? Kathniel. Ito. Of course. Si Jadine, si James Reid at si Nadine Lustre. Now, kilala niyo ba to? Ito. Kilala niyo ba siya? So sila yung mga artista sa kapanahunan. Hindi pala kapanahunan. Sila yung mga artista ng mga children of now. So these two people are YouTubers or yung mga personalities na nasa YouTube. So yung mga YouTubers ngayon, sila yung artista ngayon ng mga learners. Si PewDiePie at meron siyang how many million? I can't see. Meron siyang 106 million subscribers. So sa kanyang YouTube channel, there are 106 million people na nakaabang na mag-watch ng kanyang videos. PewDiePie is a gamer. So nagpe-play siya ng games. Tapos binivideo niya yung sarili niya na nagpe-play at nagre-react sa mga games. Yung nasa kanan naman siya si Jojo Siwa. Si Jojo Siwa is a lifestyle vlogger. So, finifilm niya yung sarili niya as she goes through her everyday. Nagme-makeup siya, nagpapic siya ng dress niya. Tapos, sinishare niya ito sa kanyang 11.6 million subscribers. O, di ba, bongga? Kilala niyo ba sila? Not sure kung kilala niyo sila. Ayan, kilala niyo ba siya? Pinoy naman tayo, Filipino. Sige nga, let's see sa chat kung kilala ba natin. Yan, sige. Paano nga i-pronounce yung name niya? Sige nga. Can you do it? Okay. Siya si Mimia. Yes. She's a Filipino vlogger. And meron siyang 3 million subscribers. Si Mimia. So, kilala ba natin si Mimia? Medyo. Yung iba nakakilala. Yung iba, hindi masyado. So, sila yung mga artista. Pata natin ngayon. Familiarity. Alam niyo ba ang mga icons na? Of course, Facebook. Yan. Instagram. Ito. For sure. Alam natin to? Let's see sa chat. Yan. Very good. That's TikTok. Ito. Oh. Let's see sa chat. Twitter. Yes, that's Twitter. This one. Tingnan nga natin. Very good. Snapchat. Ito. Ito screenshot to ng isang screen. Screenshot na screen. It's a screenshot. This is a game. Sige nga, let's see sa chat. Yes, sabi ni Cheryl, PUBG. Very good. That's PUBG, another gaming platform. And yung last ay yung sorry. This one, of course, Mobile Legends. Tama, ang dami na nagko-comment na ML. Ayan, alam niyo ba yan?
Hindi na maririnig din. Yo, okay, boy.
Ayan. Ayan, yung sige nga. Medyo nagiging intense ang ating discussion. Ayan, alam niyo ba yan? Yan, alam niyo ba yan? No? The first, this one is called Profoundly. And this one is called Curious Cat. So, ang mga apps na to, people can download and meron kang user ka, di ba? So, people can ask anonymous questions. So, they don't need to have an account or they don't need to disclose kung sino sila and they can ask questions dun sa user na yon. So, sometimes the question can be very offensive kasi may anonymous mask eh. So, pwedeng magtanong ng medyo weird. So, I have a question for you guys. Since gumagamit naman ng mobile devices ang mga anak natin, regardless of any situation that he or she is, alam nyo ba, alam nyo ba yung mga icons na nasa mobile nila? Okay, and then I have two more. This one and this one. So I'm not going to ask you kasi most of the people don't know what this is, but these are dating apps. This is Tinder and this is Grindr. So these are dating apps where people or yung users participate in to meet other people and to talk to other people in the context of relationships or online relationships. Okay. So in part, or very much of it, when we talk about the child online protection as a whole or as an issue, we talk about the digital divide. Nakakaalam ba tayo ng mga duty bearers and adults responsible for the care of children sa mga ginagawa nila or sa behaviors nila online? Kasi if not, how are we able to protect them? Diba? Kung hindi natin alam kung ano yung experiences nila sa online world, paano natin sila mapoprotektahan? Paano natin sila magagabayan? At paano natin sila ma-educate? Okay, so at this point already, pakatagal na ng internet, sobrang deep na ng ating immersion sa internet. We no longer see the internet as a beneficial tool or a harmful tool. Di ba? Hindi na siya good versus bad. It's already a mandatory thing in our lives. Nag-i-exist talaga siya sa buhay natin. So we no longer see the internet from a harms and benefits perspective, but we see the internet from a risk and perspective. Sa internet isang tool, kasangkapan para ma-promote ang ating right to freedom of expression, para ma-promote ang freedom of expression, participation, right to access information. It's an enabling environment if used correctly. So it can also be a risky place if used incorrectly. So para lang siya ang kutsilyo, di ba? So ang kutsilyo ay ginagamit natin sa pagluluto. Maraming functions ang kutsilyo. Pero if used incorrectly, it can be used to harm people. So ganun din ang perspektiba natin sa internet. Range siya from a very risky place to a place where opportunities should exist. So what the internet is a world where children use technology in a risky manner. It is a world where technology is used to exploit and abuse children. And it's a world where adults and children share the same technology but are detached culturally. May digital divide. But this is what the internet should be. It should be a world where it is used. That's where they also entertain themselves through gaming. So, marami po sa atin ay parents of learners with disabilities and part of that is that we allow them to use, di ba, yung mga gadgets and mobile devices. Depende sa kanilang levels of development. There are apps or games that they play or they use. So in doing such, children are participating in the online world. Children are able to exercise the right to play and leisure. Children exercise the right to express themselves. And at the same time, maraming mga bata ang nag-a-access sa internet para sa kanilang mga homework. So, right to freedom of expression. So, ang daming mga children's rights ang nagmamanifest at nasa-surface sa internet. But if we don't educate ourselves as duty bearers, if we don't talk to our children about their behavior online, it can be a world where children's rights are curtailed or suppressed. So this is the present situation now, and we have the National Baseline Study on Violence Against Children by CWC and UNICEF. So more statistics to be shared to you guys para maintindihan niyo po yung risks present in the internet. So 38% of children aged 13 to 18 have experienced cyber violence. So ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nito? So almost half the children have experienced cyber violence in the form of cyberbullying or etc. So that's half the children surveyed, and 1/3 of that percentage, 1/3 of the 1/2, have experienced cyber violence in the form of verbal abuse over the internet or cell phone. Verbal abuse in this case pertains sa sinabi ko nga kanina, cyberbullying. And 1/4 of the 50% were sent sexual messages. So ito yung tinatawag natin na online grooming. And 2.5% of the children surveyed, 2.5% of the half, had their own nude body or own sexual activity shown in the internet or cell phone, including both real and falsified images. So ito yung colloquially tinatawag natin na scandals. So ito yung experiences ng mga children na survey sa National Baseline Study on Violence Against Children. So when we talk about, okay, absorb. Let's take 10 seconds to absorb what we have learned so far and process ourselves, our feelings and emotions. All right. So when we talk about child online protection, of course, ang ating scope of protection encompasses 3 realms. So we talk about the 3 C's of child online protection, which is content, contact, and conduct. So let's talk about content. So content pertains to what children see online. So medyo passive siya in nature, walang masyadong interaction. So content means anong nakikita ng mga bata online. So mamaya mafe-feel nyo na layered pala ang mga risks present in the online world. So first, let's talk about content. Okay, isa sa mga maiinit na issue about content that children see in the internet is pornography or online pornography. So when children see pornography in the internet, there are 2 types of victimization. Paano sila nabiktima kapag nakakita sila ng pornography online? So there are 2 levels, no? Being exposed to adult pornography and being exposed to child pornography. So exposure to adult pornography means na yung nagpa-participate sa pornographic video or content are adults. Ibang case naman yung child pornography kasi ang participants are children. A child with an adult or both children. So, ano yung difference at ano yung different levels ng victimization? So, kapag nakita ang bata ng adult pornography, flat out, it's inappropriate. Hindi siya kaaya-aya. Lalo na kapag masyadong bata at nakakita ng pornographic content, hindi talaga siya kaaya-aya. Even more so at even mas malala kapag ang bata ay na-expose sa child pornography, mas mataas na risk. Kasi in the first place, child pornography is illegal. So dapat, in the first place, hindi siya mag-exist. So if the child was able to access child pornography, flat out, illegal siya. And the child could possibly exist in a very risky situation kasi there exists child pornography. And at the same time, hindi rin kaaya-aya na makakita ang bata ng child pornography kasi baka ma-normalize ang behavior na to. Baka makita niya yung sarili niya dun sa mga nagpa-participate sa video at baka imimic niya ang behavior na to. So, flat out, hindi talaga appropriate na makita ang bata sa child pornography, sa pornography in general. But at the same time, it's more risky and more dangerous kapag child pornography na ang nakita niya. So, as per the study of Stereo Foundation, of the children surveyed, 6 out of 10 have seen online pornography. That's 2/3, tama? Hindi ba 2/3? Okay, my math is not good, but 6 out of 10 children have seen online pornography. Okay, so there are different waves of how pornography was manufactured. So in the first wave, pornography was
po yung mga topic na binibitawan nyo kanina, and I cannot keep myself on taking down notes how important it is to put all the measures, safety measure for these children. Right, Ma'am Edna?
Tama. Kasi we were doing also face-to-face sessions last year, and habang nagdi-discuss kami, mga parents, kausap na yung mga anak, nagte-text na. Feeling ko, ganun din yung experience, ganun din yung experience nyo, di ba?
Right. Yes po, ma'am. Ang dami-dami nga po natin na gusto for question to make rooms, and more lahat ng mga nakikinig sa FB na 7,000 viewers and 1,000 sharers, and we're excited sila na maintindihan how can they make their children safe. Sobrang nakakatuwa na ito na tayo sa stage na ganito.
And I think, Miss Jen, we're back on live, and I think I can...
Yay! That's good.
Alive na tayo ulit.
Yeah.
Kindly allow me to share again my presentation.
Yes, take it away, ma'am.
Naka-disable pa po ako. Alright. Woo! Okay, recap. Recap lang before tayo na-interrupt. So, we were talking about different waves kung saan napoproduce or namamanufacture ang pornography. So, we were talking about the printed and magnetic medium. So, VHS tapes at yung mga nudie magazines like Playboy. Ano nga yung isa? May isa. Ko alam kasi hindi ko naman talaga siya naabutan during that time. So, pornography was manufactured through these means. No? So, pornography in this means kailangan niyang physically or accidentally mahanap yung mga medium na to. So, ito yung mga tinatago sa ilalim ng kama, nasa likod ng couch, nasa likod ng closet, kasi tinatago ang pornography during that. Same with the optical medium. So, CD, DVD, tinatago. That's my cat. I'm very. So the third is through website. So since may online na, it can be accessed through website. The commercial website, ito yung mga kailangan para maka-pay para and then of course, since may social media tayo, pornography also exists in social media. So, what happens when children are exposed to pornography in social media? Or, saan ba nahahanap? Saan ba sa social nakikita ang pornographic content? Pwede na mag-appear biglang pwede may nag-status update. Although, if your kids' friends are posting pornographic content sa kanilang social media, it's already very troubling, no? Pwede from pages, may mga social media pages na dedicated in producing pornographic content. Pwede sa mga groups. At pwede sa mga private na mga chats. So, mas nagpo-proliferate sila sa mga ganitong situation. So, may mga groups sa social media that promote the sexual abuse and exploitation of children. And many years ago, naalala natin ang Bible study of Pastor Hokage. Yung Hokage na term, ayan, basahin lang natin saglit. Open-minded ka ba? Lalalalala. Ang member ay 11 to 25 years old. Bawal poster, bawal star, bawal sinner, bawal maarte, bawal pwede ma-in-love, pwede ligawan. So let's remember na how young ba dapat ang may Facebook? As per Facebook's community rules, 13 years old lang ang pwedeng makapag-create ng Facebook account. However, in this situation, merong nag-i-encourage ng mga 11 years old mag-participate sa group na to. Or, in many situations, yung mga bagong panganak natin ng mga pamangkin or mga friends or mga babies ng ating friends, meron na silang Facebook account. And who knows who monitors that, who uses that, or if the children themselves use the said Facebook account. And alam ba natin kung ano mga grupo na sinasalihan nila sa Facebook? Let's see. Called R Breezy. So, ang target nito ay mga 16, 17, 18 years old, mga senior high natin, junior high. So, they post itong page kung saan yung mga scandals na kumakalat. Ang sinishare nila dito ay yung mga private posts of women, tapos nilileak nila dito sa site na to. So, as per the survey study, 6 out of 10 have seen pornographic links via social media. 6 out of 10 surveyed seen pornographic links in social media. Okay, so that's the that's a content risk. So medyo passive pa siya, nakikita lang sa internet. Ngayon naman, contact. Contact means yung mga interact, kausap, at mga friends ng ating mga anak, ng ating mga learners sa online world. Alright? So layer siya, no? Nakikita, and ngayon, nakaka-interact, nakakasalamuha online. So, this is the fourth wave of seeing, experiencing, or being exposed to pornography is through live streaming. So, kagaya ng ginagawa natin ngayon sa DepEd Facebook. This is called live streaming. So, kung anong ginagawa natin sa totoong buhay na mirror sa internet. So, of course, perpetrators also use the same technology and the same means like us. So, they also live stream pornographic content. So the first variation is person-to-person, non-facilitated through chat rooms or social media. So si perpetrator mismo nakikipag-usap sa mga bata through social media. And dito papasok yung konsepto ng grooming. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng grooming in general? So yung grooming, yun yung part of the process na ligawan, i-boost yung attitude, lalapitan, hindi malalapitan, pero ay, kumbaga, it's hard to express this in Tagalog pero they want na maging, it's hard to express this in Tagalog, pero the grooming phase happens kasi nililigawan or, di ba, parang papalambutin, bibigyan ng many compliments, bibigyan ng many gifts, constantly communicating or chatting para i-prepare siya sa next phase, which is the actual conduct of the abuse. So parang pini-prepare ang bata to be sexually exploited ng perpetrator. So ito yung phase na yon. And then just to illustrate, no, I have a video here. Naririnig po ba yung video? I'm not sure, pero alright, sige, I'll be showing you a video. At ang title ng video na to ay, ito yung opening line pala, no? This story may be happening to a child in Mexico. I'll just confirm sa chat kung naririnig po ba. Alright.
Kanina, tinawag na naman ako ni Miss Martin kasi ang ingay ko daw. Ay, mahirap naman ang fraction homework ko.
Tingnan, madali lang yan.
May recital kami, ang daming practice.
Tatampo na nga kasi hindi na tayo halos nakakapag-usap eh.
Naman eh.
Ano question mo? Ay, ganun.
Nahiya ako eh.
Yeah! Please? Dinner's ready.
Sige po, Dad. Susunod na po ako.
Okay.
Ayan, ano po ba yung naramdaman natin? Ano po ba yung feelings natin? How do we feel right now? When we do, kapag nagka-conduct namin ng face-to-face sessions, what I to do, watch yung mga reaction ng mga participants namin. So, kala nila, peppy, happy. It's just a situation wherein yung si tatay ay sinasama ng kanyang anak, very friendly. And nagpo-progress siya towards a more sinister situation. So, sa konteksto na ito, ni-fish pala, nag-pretend yung perpetrator siya. Diba? Hindi natin na-expect, hindi natin na-expect na ganun yung mangyayari. At hindi natin na-expect na yun pala yung outcome. So, meron call to action yung video na to. It's called Check, Detect, and Unfriend. So, check natin sino yung mga friends, sino yung mga strangers or mga potential na perpetrator, and i-unfriend sila sa social media. And later on, there are many ways that we can ensure the protection of children online to move through our presentation. So, pinapasatan ko ang Facilitators for producing this video. Okay. So, relatedly, meron tayong statistiko, 3 out of 10 children chat online strangers. Ano ba yung konsepto natin ng online strangers? So, sa totoong buhay, strangers are people that we do not know. Hindi natin kilala sa totoong buhay. Sa internet, ang online stranger ay yung hindi friend ng friend mo. Di ba sa Facebook meron kang friend of friend? Kung hindi siya friend of your friend, yun yung online stranger natin. Pero sa totoong buhay, kahit pa friend siya ng friend mo, kung hindi natin siya kilala sa personal, technically stranger pa rin siya. So this is what we want to enforce. Stranger, blanket term siya, sa offline and online, hindi siya kilala. Hindi mo siya kilala sa totoong. So that's what we want to reinforce. Alright? Okay. So, it's three intentional with online but 1 in 10 did eyeballs. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng eyeballs? Nakipag-meet, nakipagkilala, nakipagkita sa totoong buhay. Yung ka-chat niya, messenger, kinita niya, at eyeball sila. Nagkita-kita ng face-to-face. And the second variation is still live streaming. This is more complex or syndicated. So ito yung mga nababalita sa news at nakikita natin. Parang cottage industries, kumbaga. At there are hotspots in the Philippines kung saan prevalent yung online exploitation of children. Ito yung mga situations na ang bata sa harap ng camera at nagpa-perform sila o nagsasimulate sila ng sexual acts. So, usually syndicated siya. So, may consumer, yung perpetrator, nahihirapan siyang mag-connect or hanap ng victim. Kaya, maghahanap siya ng facilitator at yung facilitator na yun ang mag-locate ng bata para ma-victimize ng consumer. So, in that sense, ito yung binabayaran. Ito yung krimen talaga. Krimen naman talaga lahat ng forms ng child pornography. But in this situation kasi nai-ensure na perpetrator na meron siyang mabibiktima. Kasi may presence ng isang facilitator. So, nangyayari din yon via live streaming. So, perpetrated siya by syndicates. So, ito yung narinig natin na news. And sometimes, children who were once victims of child pornography or sexual exploitation in general continue the cycle of abuse and they themselves perpetrate abuse and exploitation of other children. Kasi hindi sila naka-break away at hindi sila na-rescue or nabigyan ng intervention para ma-stop ang ganung behavior. And sometimes that happens. Na sila mismo, when they were younger, they were victims and now they become the perpetrators themselves. Okay, so ano ba yung epekto ng online sexual abuse and exploitation of children? Some parents or some adults rationalize yung no touch or no harm na epekto. Kasi wala namang diba kapag may hubad lang na katawan, hubad na video, hindi naman talaga siya na quote-unquote bibiktima kasi wala namang sexual contact by another person or by another adult. Pero it doesn't mean na walang contact, physical contact, hindi na nabibiktima yung bata. It's something traumatic that already happened dun sa bata. Something already bad has happened. Doesn't mean na hindi siya, it doesn't mean na hindi ibig sabihin na okay na, it normalizes things kasi walang physical contact, hindi naman siya sexually abused in real life, hindi naman siya na rape. But still there's victimization kasi bad yan katawa ng bata. And as the child grows up at na-encounter niya ulit yung same photo or video, nare-victimize siya, not to mention na nabubuli siya ng kanyang mga peers. He or she will always live in fear na merong inappropriate photo or video na nag-exist, and what's already there in the internet will forever exist in the internet. Yun yung konsepto natin ng permanence. Diba? Kahit i-delete natin sa ating mga phones, kahit i-delete sa website, there will always be copies of the said photo or video na pwedeng mag-exist at any point in time. So, yun yung konsepto ng permanence. Kaya careful din tayo as adults at ito natin sa ating mga bata na kung ano yung i-post nyo sa internet or online, it will forever be present in the internet. So, what's in the internet will forever exist in the internet kahit how long pa yan. Kasi people might have digital copies of it, people might screenshot it, download it, and then the same copies will exist forever and ever and ever again. So ito yung mga misconceptions that we want to break apart and then do away with educating our adults and our children on these matters that are very important sa bago nating context kasi marami sa atin at marami sa ating mga learners ang nag-i-exist ngayon sa online world. So as adults, it's a role. So of course, early detection through awareness raising cyber-safe education. So this is why we do things like this and we talk about very difficult concepts and situations. Pinag-uusapan natin siya kasi gusto nating i-raise yung awareness at gusto natin na pumatok sa puso ng mga duty bearers at ma-inspire sila at ma-encourage sila, okay, I want to ensure that my child is protected from various forms of harms in the online world. So, kailangan ma-detect early on and then mabigyan ng emphasis yung mga risks na ito at ma-educate tayo paano natin i-handle yung mga situations na ito. So this is the prevention side of it. I-minimize na natin yung mga risks para in the first place, hindi na siya mangyari sa ating mga children. And then the second and another important role is that we report cases to the concerned offices and agencies. Our law enforcement is responsive to child protection incidents and cases, no? So meron tayong PNP, anti-cybercrime, may NBI cybercrime, specifically tasked to handle child online protection cases. Sa DOJ meron. Yung law enforcement natin, responsive sila sa mga ganitong scenarios at situations. And habang nagpo-progress tayo more to the online world, our social welfare agencies and yung systems natin ng social welfare are also taking into consideration yung experiences ng mga bata online. So kapag nangyari ito sa ating mga learners or sa ating mga children or alam natin, narinig natin mula sa grapevine or may kakilala tayo na nakaka-experience na ito, I hope na ma-inspire kayo to report. And to report kasi dito magsa-start yung yung healing process eh. Kasi kapag hindi siya na-intervene early on, it's possible that the victim might be perpetuating the same type of abuse and exploitation to another child. So, yun yung risk. So, dapat ma-detect natin early on, ma-aware tayo kung ano nangyayari, and at the same time, kapag nangyayari na very unfortunate scenario, i-report natin siya. Okay? Sige. Okay. Tapos sa second pa lang tayo na sino. That's content, that's content, that's contact, and now conduct. Hindi pa natatapos. Conduct naman pertains to children's risky behaviors. Sa content, passive, nakikita lang nila sa internet. Conduct, external force, acting against the best interest of the child. And now, conduct, children themselves exhibit risky behavior. This can be because produkto sila ng grooming process or na-expose sila sa mga ganitong inappropriate content or may nag-prompt sa kanila na gawin ito. So, layer siya of victimization, layer siya of risks. So, now, we talk about children themselves doing these risky behaviors. Ayan. So, social media pa rin. So, in social media, it's people. Yung mga close sa'yo, loved ones mo, best friend mo. But private information is information that you only share to no one. It's yours. Private is yours. So when we distinguish levels of information, no, pag sinabi nating hubad na photo mo, hindi siya sensitive information. It's private information because your body is yours. And in the first place, you should not share it with anyone except no one but yourself. Sensitive information can be a secret that you share. So parang ita-translate natin sa experience ng bata. Sensitive might be yung pangalan ng crush niya at sinishare niya ito sa kanyang best friend. That's a sensitive information. Private information is something that you keep yourself. So kaya nga, kasama doon ang iyong pangsarili, something na private, pangsarili lamang ang information na dapat mong i-share. Sensitive information also be yung password mo sa social media account mo, PIN mo sa GCash, ATM passcode, it's a sensitive. Actually, ang ATM passcode should be private information, but some of you guys are in a couple or may asawa po kayo, maybe ang ATM password ay hindi private information but sensitive information. So, cellphone number is a sensitive information. So, ang risk kasi, ang sensitive information kapag kumalat, there are means of us mitigating it, di ba? Kapag kumalat ang PIN number natin sa ATM, what we do is we just change the ATM PIN. Di ba? Kapag kumalat yung cellphone number natin, what we do is just change the cellphone number. Madali. May mitigating factors. But pag ang private information kumalat, for example, hubad na picture, very difficult to curtail or to prevent something. Yes? Right, so I'll just share my screen again. Pasensya na po. Technology problems. All right. Full screen ko lang. Naka-live pa po ba tayo?
Yes,
Hello?
Ma'am Edna, we're still on live. Yes, ma'am. Right.
Nawawala yung controls ko, so maybe this also a technical problem.
Right.
I don't
That's
know.
what the online world is all about. Right, Ma'am Edna? Right.
Right. Very ironic, no? Kasi we're talking about online safety. At marami tayong technology
Yes.
problem. Very
Okay.
complicated stuff.
That's right. And even our topic is so interesting. When the online world stop us, we have to have a plan B for that. Right?
Right.
And-
So, unfortunately, we make do with what we have right
Yes,
now.
that's right.
Nawawala ang aking controls.
Okay, ma'am. So would you like ma'am to assist you? We can share
Ayan,
it.
so-
Oh, there you go. Yay.
There we go. So, I need to just reshare my screen. Yan. So, pwede nyo pong stop na yung share so I can share mine again. Konting pasensya po sa ating mga viewers sa live at sa Zoom. Ako nga, pinagpawisan ako ng slide. So, let's just continue and I'll speed along kasi mahaba-haba pa po ang ating pag-uusapan. So, recap. Alright. Recap, first C, content. Next C, contact. Next C, conduct. So, nasa conduct na tayo. Alright. So, Facebook privacy, private 3 in 10, 5 in 10, and 2 in 10. So, tayo, isipin natin, meron ba tayong public ba or private ang ating Facebook profile? Let's see. So now we also talk about self-generated child sexual abuse materials and indecent images of children. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Children themselves generate their own child sexual abuse materials. Ito yung mga self-taken with photos and videos. Okay, according to the Stairway study, 7% of children surveyed engage in sexting. So sexting is the portmanteau of sex and texting. So sinasimulate nila ang mga sexual behaviors at tinatranslate nila ito into communication or texting. So isipin natin, may hawak na cellphone ang ating mga anak. And meron silang constant access to the internet through the mobile data. And do we know who are they talking to, or do we know ano yung activities na ginagawa nila sa internet? Do they talk to us? Are we trusted people na pwede na lang lapitan kapag may hindi kaaya-aya silang na-experience sa internet? So this is an emerging trend. This is public live streaming via mobile apps. Ang ironic, no, kasi ang dami nating technical problem na na-encounter, pero we're talking about online world. So I think it's also risky that failure to connect in the internet is also a risk kasi nasistress tayo, na-influence siya ng ating mood at attitudes kapag meron tayo hindi maayos na internet connection. Okay, so let's just calm down and please bear with us kasi we are in this together, bagong scope to, bagong world to para sa atin. Yan, so I was just going back to public live streaming. This is an example of a live streaming thing na nangyayari. So, merong isang bata, I think this one is 17 years old, nag-live stream siya through an app called Bigo Live. Bigo Live. Ang goal sa Bigo Live is that paramihan ng mga tao na nag-share and at tumitingin sa live stream mo. So, the more people watching your stream, the more points that you earn. So, mas nagiging popular ka sa platform na yon. And then, since mas popular ka, but parang, how do you drive ba the views? So, you do more risky stuff. You tease your audience. And not knowing that these behaviors are actually detrimental to the child's health and well-being. Kasi they're doing risky things in the internet. Pwede na doon yung mag-post ng sexy, talk inappropriately, and there was this one case kung saan nagsabi yung bata na pag ako naka-reach ng 10,000 views, maghuhubad ako. So naghubad siya, tapos sinuot niya ulit yung kanyang damit. Pero hindi niya na-realize na may nag-screenshot pala habang nahubad siya. So kumalat yung video niya, which is very sad. So it's in this situation, it's the children themselves are doing inappropriate things mainly because hindi sila educated na yung mga bagay na to and may implications sa iyo or sa health and safety mo or sa future mo. So what we want to do is teach children about personal safety, proper conduct in the online world. At the same time, tayo as adults, we want to be the people teaching children the proper values, skills, and attitudes as they participate in the various activities in the online world. So, ayaw natin na maging, di ba, parang we don't want to be the people who will be mandating children na, okay, this is what you don't do, this is what you don't do. But we want to be more encouraging and nurturing. And it works also that we talk to children about their experiences sa online world. It doesn't really help if we take away children's gadgets kasi ini-inhibit natin ang kanilang right to play and leisure, di ba? As mentioned early on sa ating presentation, the internet can be an enabling world. The internet can be a very positive world if used correctly. So, i-educate natin ang ating mga anak na gamitin ng tama at mag-participate ng tama sa internet. So, this is why we are talking these very hard concepts. Kasi we want to be the trusted adults kung saan ang mga bata ay pupunta at kakausapin tayo sa mga experiences nila online. Okay? So this is how we manage conduct risks. So we deal with the different levels of personal information. Alamin natin kung ano lang ang pwedeng i-share at hindi i-share. So what is sensitive and what is private? And of course, vis-a-vis what is public. Gaano ba ka-importante sa atin ang privacy? So meron tayong, syempre, nowadays image is yung image mo is a currency, di ba? It can be used for popularity purposes. Pero, importante ba yan? Assess natin kung importante ba yan vis-a-vis risks present in the internet. So, balansehin natin. Alamin natin kung ano yung feelings ng mga anak natin about this. And vis-a-vis our feelings about them exhibiting these behaviors online. And of course, very important, ano yung risks kapag nakipag-friend ang mga bata natin sa mga strangers online. So, no na automatically kapag hindi nga kilala sa toong buhay, hindi na siya appropriate. Alright? Okay, let's move away from the discussion about pornography and now we talk about cyberbullying. Okay, quintessential questions. Can adults be cyberbullied by children? Actually, no. Adults can't be cyberbullied by children. Why? Technically, sa definition ng bullying as per the Child Protection Policy, bullying happens when a student commits a series of acts directed towards another student. So student versus student siya. Sinusugan ito ng ating IRR on the Anti-Bullying Act. In the law, it says that bullying happens between one or more students. So students pa rin siya. But it doesn't mean that the said behavior is not good. Hindi lang natin sinasabi na hindi yan cyberbullying. Kasi the term bullying pertains to a child or a group of children doing something negative or harmful dun sa another child or group of children. Children to children cyberbullying. Kung adult to adult, hindi siya bullying but it's actually harassment. May mga law tayo about cyber harassment. Kung isang adult na nag-commit ng ganon against another child, it's called cyber abuse. And when children bully another adult, it's not bullying per se, but it's a child exhibiting inappropriate behavior. Tinatawag natin siya na child at risk. Bakit at risk? Kasi he or she is doing a behavior that could be detrimental to his or her health, and it could potentially lead to the child becoming in conflict with the law. something must be happening sa kanyang background or sa kanyang home or community situation that leads him or her to commit said inappropriate behavior. Hindi siguro naturuan ng tamang values, siguro nag-i-exist siya sa isang family situation kung saan na-normalize ang ganitong behavior. So, in a sense, the child cyberbullying, and I air quotes here, cyberbullying another adult, it means na kailangan niya mabigyan ng tamang care and intervention para hindi na niya to ulitin ang ganitong behavior. So turuan siya ng tama. Baka may problem siya sa kanyang behavior. So i-refer natin siya sa isang child psychologist or i-refer natin siya sa social welfare services para mag-intervene na early on. Okay, just to clarify, it's still inappropriate behavior, but it doesn't mean na papalampasin natin ito. So kailangan nating mag-intervene at kailangan natin siyang i-refer sa appropriate services para hindi na maulit ang ganitong behavior. Same goes with cyberbullying. But if adult to another adult, it's a different situation altogether. And it's cyber abuse already if it's an adult, quote-unquote, bullying children. So translate natin siya sa school. Kapag ang teacher ay nasa cyberbully ba si teacher ni student? Technically, I say technically no. But it's the student exhibiting inappropriate behavior. Kailangan mag-guidance and counseling ang bata. Hindi siya guidance and counseling in the sense na punishment, but guidance and counseling to know ano ba yung factors that leads him or her to commit said behavior. Okay? Sige. DepEd's response. Okay, sige, ito na yung, this is the point of the presentation where we talk about how do we, as adults and as parents, and as part of the school community, respond to issues present online. So, we learned about the 3 C's, diba? Content, contact, and conduct. These C's are layered. Pansin natin, diba, na layer siya. So, nag-add up siya sa levels ng victimization. So, knowing this, hindi naman natin hahayaan na ibitin kayo sa ere at takutin lang kayo in general. We actually want you guys to know that there are response strategies already existing para matulungan kayo na i-mitigate yung risks and also educate yourselves paano maprotektahan ng mga bata online. Okay, so how do we make the internet a safe space for children? So we use the acronym. Bilang DepEd tayo, gumagamit tayo ng acronym na PIE. PIE. P means policies and practice. I means infrastructure and technology. And E means education and training. So these work hand in hand. Etong tatlo na to. So we talk about P in PIE pala in practice. So P in terms of policies and practice. We integrate anti-bullying policies and online safety policies in our school child protection policy. So lahat naman ng mga paaralan natin, di ba, merong child protection policy. So ang tanong ay, may online safeguarding ba ang inyong child protection policy sa school? At the school level ba, meron ba kayong standards kung paano i-ensure na ang mga bata ay safely navigating the internet? Do we capacitate fellow parents and teachers on online safety practices? So at the school community, sino ma-manage ng ating school Facebook page? And meron bang mapupuntahan? And in our present context, kanino if ever magre-report ang mga bata kapag may mga experiences sila na negative in the internet? So these are the key questions sa policies and practice. So one effort already that exists is the creation of a localized code of conduct. So itong context na to, ito yung pre-COVID kasi sa ating child protection policy, ini-encourage natin ang ating mga schools na mag-create ng localized code of conduct. So i-incorporate natin dito sa school code of conduct at school child protection policy ang online na component. Yung online na dimension of it to extend the scope of protection sa online. So even at the school level, pwede natin tong gawin. Kung wala pa tayong child protection policy sa school, i-push natin ang ating mga school head na mag-create ng child protection policy na may online component. Very important siya sa present na context. i-push natin ang ating mga i-push natin ang ating school community at i-push natin ang ating mga community leaders and stakeholders na i-localize at maging specific sa konteksto natin at sa ating community ang online safety of children. Ayan, no? So this is pre-COVID. The school should draft a child protection policy with a code of conduct and reviewed every 3 years. So kung existing na yung child protection policy, i-review natin, revise natin, lagyan natin ng online component. Alright? Adoption of anti-bullying policies, yes, kasama po siya. This is in the DO 55 series of 2013 sa ating DepEd anti-bullying policy. And wait lang, I'll just jump ahead to infrastructure and technology kasi maybe later on I'll share to you yung developments na ginagawa natin sa central office to support yung initiatives ng mga schools about online safety. Okay, so second sa ating PI is infrastructure and technology. So dito papasok ang blocking and filtering softwares that are available online na pwede nating i-install sa ating mga computers at gadgets para ma-ensure natin na na-filter out yung mga pornographic content at mga inappropriate content natin online. So we maximize also online reporting and takedown tools. So when we say infrastructure and technology, yung mga computers ba natin sa bahay ay may filtering and blocking software. It's actually easy to install one. Google ka lang, how to filter and block pornographic websites in my computer. Maraming apps at software that can do that now, and they are free and available to use. We don't really prescribe anything, pero if you search yourselves, kasi since nasa internet naman na tayo, you can actually find that technology will also support you in this endeavor, no? And then as we go to social media, marunong ba tayong mag-report ng mga inappropriate na pages? So pag may nakita tayong video na hindi kaaya-aya, alam ba natin kung paano mag-report sa Facebook, sa Twitter, sa Instagram? So aralin din natin paano mag-report para yung offensive post or video can be taken down, at least for our level. So we have a policy in place in ideal setting, no, nag-work si PI. So si policy has something that prohibits the presence of these said behaviors, and then we have infrastructure and technology. Alam natin kung paano mag-report at mag-take down. Alam natin kung paano i-filter yung mga hindi appropriate na mga content. So ang third, actually, na-misplace sa slide na to. But this is related to this. Kasi si Central Office, sa Office ng Undersecretary for Legal Affairs, in partnership with our many partners, kasama na dun si DepEd Philippines, and the community, the school community ng ating mga partner na NGOs, partner na government agencies, and everyone na at stake sa ating basic education. We just finished the first set of consultations 2 weeks ago. We have conducted focus group discussions a week ago, and now we are in the process of drafting a supplemental policy for child protection in the context of the BELCP. So kasama na dito yung considerations for online learning at yung management ng ating mga Facebook pages online, yung ating presence ng mga social media groups, and other behaviors pertaining to online. So very heavy kasi yung pag-feature ng online safety sa ating bagong supplemental policy ng child protection in the context of the BELCP, di ba? Kasi kailangan nating i-align, kailangan nating i-take into consideration yung home-based learning, no? So at the level of the home, habang nagmo-modular si bata, paano ba mapoprotektahan siya from various risks and harms present? Kapag nasa internet siya at nag-online learning, or nag-google siya, or nakikipag-coordinate siya, or nakakapag-interaction with his or her peers or teachers online, paano ba sila mapoprotektahan? At ano ba yung roles and responsibilities ng mga various DepEd stakeholders, central, regional, division, schools, and partners? Very heavy na po doon ang responsibility ng ating mga parents in ensuring that children are safe wherever they exist, in the context of the BLCP or ating Learning Continuity Plan. So, coming na po yan, malapit na po natin siyang issue. So, yun, pwede natin siyang abangan at this will support kung meron man tayong existing na child protection policies na may online component. Or kung wala pa, pwede natin tong gawing basihan para sa ating child protection policy in the context of the Learning Continuity Plan. So, third is education and training sa ating PAI. So, for education and training, we teach children about online safety and resiliency. At bilang nasa basic education sector tayo, we always talk about, educational tools and teaching others, capacitating others in our various advocacies and initiatives. So for us, it's about online safety and resiliency. The past years, we started in 2019. Last year, parang tagal na. So we spent the entire of 2019 going around regions and developing division trainers para sila mismo ang maging division team in charge of cascading online safety and cyber safety sa ating mga schools at ating mga teachers. So some of you may have heard about the cyber safe lesson plans, which has been developed since 2016. Some of you may have participated in learning sessions spearheaded by our division teams on cyber safety. So ito yung isa sa mga initiatives na ginawa natin pre-COVID. So, during COVID naman, ngayon sa ating bagong context, the Office of the Undersecretary for Legal Affairs has conducted a series of webinars such as this to talk about actually yung basic considerations in our present context. So, ang first series, I'll just talk to you, ang series of the web, there are 3 series. So, ang kanyang theme ay isulong karapatan ng mga bata sa panahon ng COVID-19. So, rights-based siya na approach. And then, the first series is about children's rights. So, kakatapos lang nito. Our last episode was, last week, yes. So, present na yung copies of the videos in our DepEd Facebook page. So, pwede niyo po itong balikan. So, September 7, 8, 14, 15, about the different rights of the child, yung categories of rights in the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child, and how it applies in the basic education context, and also in the present context. One of the series then, yung positive discipline and education for parents and caregivers. And tomorrow is our episode 3, at ang ating partner dito ay ang Save the Children Philippines. So, dumaan na yung 2 episodes. Every Wednesday kasi siya of September until October 7. So, abangan niyo po kami bukas ng 3:00 ng hapon to talk about positive discipline naman. This is specific to parents and guardians kasi we want also to educate our parents kasi sila ang ating primary learning facilitators, diba? Sa ating learning continuity plan. So, gusto din nating suportahan sila habang nag-a-assist sila sa ating mga learners. So, bukas may episode every Wednesday actually hanggang October 7. And talking about online and talking about child protection, may upcoming na webinar naman. Kasi yung pinag-uusapan natin dito, pahapyaw lang siya eh. Diba? There's only so much that you can talk about in 2 hours. Pero sa series na ito, mas papalalimin natin ang discussion ng child protection. Kasama na very heavy ang online na component. Kasi tinitease ko lang naman kayo about what we are, tiniteaser lang to eh. But we want to equip you with all the skills and all the tools that you need to protect children online and at home. So, sa last week ng September, starting September 28, same place, DepEd Facebook page, every day, September 28, 29, 30, October 1, and October 2, we will be talking about child protection. Also, child online protection. Also, child protection in the home, in the context of the basic education learning continuity plan. So, kita-kita po tayo next week para po paigtingin yung discussion ng ating child online protection. So, teaser lang po ito kasi gusto ko lang po i-plug na meron tayong more in-depth discussion and I hope na magkikita-kita po tayo doon. Okay. So when we talk about online safety, malapit na po ako matapos. So when we talk about online safety, it's not just about technology, but it's about behavioral change. Di ba? As mentioned kanina, the digital culture is shaped by how we populate it, but also protecting our children and ourselves in the internet is not just about technological development or advancement. It's about us being equipped with the proper skills, attitudes, and knowledge, skills, and attitudes to protect ourselves and our learners about the risks present online. So, converse din siya, no? Hindi mo naman kailangan ng super gandang gadget. Hindi mo naman kailangan ng, very sophisticated equipment to promote online safety. But if you yourselves know how to protect yourself and your kids online, if you equip them with the proper skills, if in-educate natin sila about the risks present, then it can be about the behavior thing. Yeah? So, talking about education, we have tools to support parents about cyber safety. First is the manual. So, nag-develop tayo in 2016 ng cyber safe lesson plans for grades 5 to 6 and junior high, at meron na rin for grades 1 to 2. So, madadownload nyo po ang cyber safe manual sa website na ito. I'll show you later kung ano yung website. We did this in partnership with Stairway Foundation. So the development of the cyber safe lesson plans is through the Office of the Undersecretary for Legal Affairs and of course Stairway Foundation. At pwede nyo pong i-download ang mga manuals dito sa www.cybersafe.asia. So activity-based siya eh. And I think if the parents can also download the same materials and you can see na may mga activities that you can do together with your kids, tapos i-apply nyo yung key learning points and activity guide questions and processing, maybe you can do cyber safe education at home. And for our teachers, yung ating cyber safe lesson plans ay available sa ating LR portal. Existing na siya actually since 2016. Also to support the cyber safe lesson plans, we have additional materials, di ba? So bibigyan po namin kayo ng option kung paano natin i-educate ang ating mga sarili at ating mga anak about online safety. So from our partner in the private sector, we have developed videos and brochures on the Daliri Eskwela. Stairway Foundation has developed an e-learning course on cyber safety and the platform mismo kung saan napapopulate ng mga bata at ng mga adults na provide sila ng modules on digital citizenship. So for IMAP, ito yung mga materials that they developed in partnership with DepEd and Stairway. First is the awareness video, yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. It's entitled Friends for Tips, and it's targeted towards young girls who are very proficient and very prolific sa social media. So the dangers, it emphasizes on the dangers of friending strangers online. So, yun yung awareness na part. Kasi yung video talaga na to, design siya na kumatok sa puso nyo at ma-pique yung interest nyo about online safety. So, education naman, we developed the Daliri Eskwela, no? So, Daliri Eskwela is a school on how to teach children online. And there are 4 topics na pinag-uusapan sa Daliri Eskwela. So, first is cyberbullying. Ito yung mga videos cyberbullying, gaming addiction, and online chatting. So I don't have much time pero in next time siguro ipakita ko po sa inyo yung video na sasagot dun sa first natin na awareness video. Ito yung can I just get a confirmation from the organizers kung may time pa po ako? So it's just a 3-minute video about online chatting.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead po.
Sure po kayo? Sige.
Yes po.
Okay po ba sa ating mga kasama? Pwede po ba ako mag-play ng video?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Alright, sige po. So, ang topic dito ay online chatting. Sige, let's see.
Ang chatting ay isa sa pinaka-importanting part ng internet. Madalit mas muna natin makakausap ang family and friends natin. Ang saya talaga mag-chat. Pero hindi lahat dapat kausapin. Mag-ingat. Dahil sa internet, there are stalkers. Mga hindi mo kilala na tingin ang tingin sa photos mo. Maniacs. Mga nagpo-post ng kabastusan. Haters. Mga puro pananakit ang tinatype. SMH. Stalkers, maniacs, haters. Ang mga ganitong kachat, iwasan. I. I-block ang stalker, maniac, at haters. W. Huwag magbigay ng pribadong impormasyon tulad ng full name, age, parents' names, school, classroom, home address, at phone numbers. A. Add only friends at mga taong kilala. S. Sabihin sa mga magulang o sino mang nakatatanda na pinagkakatiwalaan mo ang tungkol sa masamang nakachat. Tandaan, kids, hindi kailangan ng maraming kaibigan. Hindi quantity. Dapat quality. Hindi ka na, may adobo. Sa Daliri Eskwela, learn how to be cyber safe. Wait! Ngayon, bago tayo umalis at mag-chat with friends,
Sige nga.
meron tayong munting
Gawin natin to sa ating mga
on how to
bahay.
be cyber safe. May
Let's do the
ipapakita
quiz
kaming
together.
information. Wave your fingers to say no if maling pag-chat ito. And point to the screen if tama. Mag-add ng madaming friends online kahit hindi kilala.
No.
Mag-send ng memes o quotes sa kilalang kaibigan. Tuloy makipag-usap kahit bastos at puro hate na ang chat. Magbigay ng sensitive o pribadong impormasyon tungkol sa sarili. I-block ang stalkers, maniacs, at haters. High five sa
High
mga
five.
nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Thumbs up.
High five the
Tandaan,
person
mga
next
bata,
to you.
Turuan ng mga daliri
Or
na
virtual
huwag
high
kung
five.
sino-sino ang ka-chat. So you can be cyber safe. Bye! Bye!
Yan. So, these videos are actually made in partnership with the Cyber Safe lesson plans. And also, hindi lang siya specific to the school day. Pwede din siyang gamitin natin na advocacy videos para i-educate natin ang ating school community about online safety. So, marami tayong tools na pwedeng gamitin. So, and you can see na kid-friendly siya. It's designed that way. And also, easy siya to discuss at meron siyang quiz sa dulo. At yung safety tips, shinorten siya at ginawa siyang more easy to remember, di ba? Yung term na iwas. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng I, W, A, and S. And then, for the other videos, ganun din ang magiging, ganun din yung itsura niya. So, it's very kid-friendly, it's very participative, at the same time, madali lang siyang intindihin para sa lahat. Okay, this is the fourth video. It also talks about child pornography. No? So, I will not be able to talk to you about this kasi wala tayong time, but I'll be giving you the links to the Daliri Eskwela video. So, same site, cybersafe.asia. At pwede nyo po itong i-download for free yung videos at yung lesson plans. Okay. Also, to complement yung learning ng mga bata, meron ding parents brochures on these 4 topics. So, ang goal talaga ng mga brochures na ito is to educate parents and caregivers on how to become trusted adults. Paano kayo magiging key people sa buhay ng inyong mga anak at inyong mga bata na pwede nilang puntahan at kausapin sa mga na-experience nila. And also hopefully to open discussions about online safety and online behavior of children. Okay, so I really encourage you guys to download these materials. For free siya. Pwede nyo nga i-print yung mga brochures na ito at ipakalat sa inyong mga schools or sa inyong school community. Okay, so www.cybersafe.asia. At kung hindi siya accessible dito sa website na ito, meron din tayo sa ating DepEd Facebook page. So, search nyo lang po sa DepEd Facebook page, put in yung code na Daliri Eskwela, mahanap nyo po sa ating DepEd Facebook, hindi pala DepEd Facebook, sorry, DepEd website, www.deped.gov.ph. Okay. So, also, ang ating partner na Sterry Foundation, gumawa din sila ng e-learning courses. So, ano ba yung value added ng e-learning courses? It's the same topic, it's the same lessons on safety or child protection in general, pero ginawa nilang more interactive and in the form of an e-learning course. So, meron siyang videos, tas drag and drop yung mga activities. So, kung gusto nyo matuto about online safety through online means, pwede nyo pong gamitin ang mga e-learning courses na ito. So, it can still be accessed in the same portal. So, nakikita nyo naman dito, meron siyang mga tabs. So, nandyan yung e-learning, nandyan yung Daliri Eskwela, tapos nandyan din yung cyber safe manuals, di ba? So, it's a one-stop shop for everything na online. And we thank our partner, Sterry Foundation, for this, for collaborating with the Department of Education and to promote online safety of children. Okay? So, marami pa po silang mga topics, pero makikita niyo naman sa bottom right part, nandiyan yung cyber safety. And last but not the least, ang ating Facebook Digital Tayo na materials. So, they talk about digital citizenship and how to become better digital citizens. So, if you access www.rethinkdigital.fb.com/Philippines, so iselect niyo po yung Philippines na option, madadownload niyo po ang kanilang mga modules on digital literacy. Okay, so those are the materials that we are developed together. We develop kasama sa ating mga partners, and I hope that you guys access it para having learned all the risks present, ma-equip niyo po ang inyong mga sarili on how to better protect children, at the same time equip then the learners on how to keep themselves safe in the online world. So, maraming salamat po for allowing me to share online safety with you guys. At pasensya na po sa ating technical problems. Thank you for bearing with us, and I hope that we start conversations with our kids about online safety. Maraming salamat po sa lahat.
Ayan, thank you very much, Ma'am Edna. And sorry po sa lahat ng ating mga Zoom participants for the Zoom glitches earlier. Sabi nga po ni Ma'am Edna, we want kids to be safe, and it's very important for us to put safeguarding measures in place, especially that we have innovative ways of learning and creating new ways for them to express themselves. Edna, you're so cool sa pagpe-present ng online safeguarding for children. You are so cool and yet so pretty while presenting this. So please stay with us, and I'll be turning the time over to our Supervising Education Program Specialist, Sir Angelito Cortez Jr. to facilitate the open forum. Hi, Sir Jay!
Yes, hello. Good morning.
Hello!
Yes, okay. Good morning, Ma'am Edna ulit. Tayo ay mga...
Edna na lang.
Oh, Edna. Miss Edna. Yes, may mga nakikinig po sa atin coming from Luzon, Ilocos, Pangasinan, Pampanga, NCR. From Visayas, we have from Cebu, Iloilo, Negros Occidental, and from Mindanao, we have Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Davao, and Jensan. So very timely po ang inyong discussion about online, ma'am. And marami sa atin ngayon ang basically nasa loob ng bahay at naka-online, may nakatutok sa Facebook, merong sa YouTube, may Twitter, basically all these social media platforms. So we have questions here po. Unang-una, this is about cyberbullying. So sabi niya, research shows that many children are reluctant to confide with parents when they encounter abuse online. And while school staff cannot provide visual oversight or maintain casual contact with kids at risk, then some go unnoticed. In this matter, what are the specific interventions daw po or legal safeguarding for our children at risk? That question came from Mr. Malawit.
Well, good question. No? So, part of our struggles in the program is detection. So, detecting children at risk of bullying, detecting children at risk of experiences ng cyber violence. Tama ka po na sa online world, wala tayong physical contact. Dati, di ba, kapag nasa school tayo, nakikita natin ang ating mga learners na medyo matamlay, hindi masyado nagpa-participate, na may negative siya na experiences. So, pwede natin silang kausapin physically. But ang struggle now is that how do we see visual cues and how do we encourage our children na mag-disclose sa atin ng kanilang mga experiences. So, unfortunately, that's also part of our struggles, and it's one of the reasons din kasi that we are doing these venues kasi we want to maximize participation and have a massive dissemination and awareness raising para lahat po ng ating mga learners ay ma-educate na mga protection risks online. So we can only do so much, and as parents and teachers, we hope to educate our children. So let's encourage them to learn about online safety para sila mismo ay ma-empower to disclose things that are not happening, not so good things that are happening to them online. Mahirap talaga na ma-detect at this point in time, but we can only hope that through cyber safe education, they will be empowered to report experiences of cyber abuse and violence. So yun po.
All right.
So mas paigtingin pa natin ang cyber safe education.
All right. Actually, ma'am, marami po tayong nakukuhang feedback na magaganda coming from our listeners and viewers from Facebook and Zoom. And they are saying na napakaganda daw po ng ating webinar, especially yung topic.
Kala ko napakaganda ng speaker. Binitin mo ko din, sir.
Hindi, kasama na rin yung pusa sa background. So,
right.
Very helpful daw po para sa kanila bilang mga teachers and parents. So, we would like to entertain another question po. Okay. Sabi ng ating kasama coming from Pangasinan, si Mr. Nasef, how can we educate children not to post photos that could awaken predators if those children admire their body so much? So,
all right. Great question. So, we go back to the discussion of what can be distinguished as private, sensitive, and public information. So it should be a discussion between the adult and the child. So para sa kanya ba, ano ba ang sensitive information? Ano ba yung pribadong information at ano ba yung public information? So it's a matter of talking to your child kung ano sa tingin niya is public, private, and sensitive information, and the adult also educating the child kung ano ba yung mga information na to. So, pictures or images, some pictures and images can be considered as public. So, part of that are the Facebook profile pictures natin. That's public already. So, kahit sino mang straight type yung name mo at hindi kayo friends, nakikita, di ba, in public yung photo mo. So, that's public information. Sensitive information can be things that are only shared between you and your select group of friends or loved ones. So, depende kung anong image yan or information yan, pag-usapan natin. And of course, yung private information are those pertaining to one's body parts or to one's own, things that are not meant to be shared to anyone. So, part na doon yung ating mga hindi kaaya-ayang photos and videos. So, in practice, we don't want to encourage children to share to others. Kasi these are considered private information. At yung private information na to ay pansarili lamang, pang-atin lamang, at hindi dapat ito itinakalat. So, pag-usapan niyo po with your kid kung ang behavior ba niya na ina-exhibit ay inappropriate, at i-inform natin siya kung ano ba yung levels of information na pwede nating i-post sa ating social media or sa ating mga loved ones at sa ating mga kasama sa school. Yun po.
All right. So, what you're saying, Miss Edna, is mahalaga yung parental engagement with regard to online behavior ng ating mga bata, ating mga learners. So, with that, marami pa tayong questions sana, Ma'am Edna, but in the
I'll
interest
stay,
of
I'll stay
time.
and try to answer sa Zoom Q&A. I'll try
Yes,
to stay and answer the Zoom Q&A yung mga questions.
all
Feel
right.
free to ask questions. And better yet, if you participate in the webinar next week on child protection in the context of LCP, mas mapapalawak pa po ang ating discussions, and potentially your questions can be addressed in that venue. So bukas, positive discipline for parents, 3:00 ng hapon. Next week, 10:00 ng umaga, child protection naman.
All right. Salamat sa pagpa-plugging ng ating webinar ng DepEd. So in the interest of time, we again would like to park those questions, and we would ask our technical team to harvest them, and hopefully they will be answered by through email or other forms of communications. So once again,
Sorry, one last thing, no, para sa ating mga magulang. Huwag po kayong matakot. So fear is our enemy here. So having known how to act, i-apply po natin ito sa ating mga families at sa ating personal life. So takot po yung kalaban natin. Yun yung first instinct natin, di ba? Oh my God, nangyayari to. Natatakot na ako. So our first instinct is to inhibit our children, but no. So we should encourage open communication and also cyber-safe education. Yun po. Salamat.
all right. Okay, thank you po ulit, Ms. Edna. So we will now proceed with the awarding of the certificate. Let me read the citation. Department of Education awards this certificate of recognition to Ms. Edna Fer Ramirez for serving as resource speaker on the topic online safeguarding for children during the webinar, The New Normal in Education, Parents as Partners and Facilitator of Learning for Learners with Disabilities via Zoom, conducted by the Bureau of Learning Delivery Student Inclusion Division on September 21 to 22, 2020, signed by Diosdado M. San Antonio, Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction.
Ma'am Edna, good morning. Thank you again.
Tanggapin pa naman, Doc Jude. Tatanggapin ko.
Yes, ma'am. Marami na kaming sa'yo. Lagi ng partner natin si Edna. So again, on behalf of the Bureau of Learning Delivery Student Inclusion Division, thank you very much again for the time and expertise.
Heart naman sa chat.
We hope that we can have you again in our future training.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. Parang
Thank
suki
you.
na yata ako
Yes, Ma'am Edna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now
Thank
back to you,
you
Ms. Ms. Jennifer.
Right. Thank you so much, Ma'am Edna, once again. Ayan, recap po natin yung nangyari today, no? We would like to acknowledge all the FB viewers and thank you for sharing. So, shout out lang si Ma'am Mylene Kelling. Sabi niya, okay lang po kahit nai-interrupt ang connection. We will stay in tune po kasi super ganda ng mga topic. Thank you so much, Ma'am Mylene, for that positive feedback. At syempre po, kanina si Ma'am Sheila, she emphasized that parents know their own child and can provide very helpful information to teachers. Teachers can help parents support learning at home. The whole community needs to be mobilized to develop inclusive education. Sabi pa niya, partnerships are created with relevant stakeholders with advocacy at all levels. These help the educational approach to rehabilitation to realize. Okay, so in addition to that, si Ma'am Edna, natakil niya sa atin yung online safeguarding for children, which is very interesting and relevant to all of us na may mga bata na talagang palaging nasa online world. We need to ensure every child and young person should be able to participate in an enjoyable and safe online environment and be protected from abuse. Nakikita ko yung mga strategiya para maprotektahan natin sila. Reduce availability. Reduce the availability of harmful and inappropriate content. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Edna kanina. Tapos restrict access. Avoid incidences of harmful and inappropriate contact and reduce harmful and inappropriate conduct. Yan ang pagkakasabi niya sa kanina nung tinatakal yung conduct. Pangatlo, increase resilience. Equip children to deal with exposure to harmful and inappropriate content and contact, and parents should be of help with their children to deal with this thing. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Edna kanina, no fear. Kailangan wag tayong matakot. Ayan. At this point in time, I would like to call Dr. Jose Dito Ginayo Jr. to award the Certificate of Recognition to our dear partners today. Hello, Sir June. Ayan, nandiyan naman si Sir June.
Yes,
Sir
Ma'am
June.
Jen.
Yes,
Good
po.
morning. May I ask one of you to please read the citations to our partners?
Ayan.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
So, once again, good morning. I'd like, on behalf of the Department of Education, Bureau of Learning Delivery, we would like to award this Certificate of Recognition to Good Neighbors International Philippines in sincere appreciation of the assistance extended to the Bureau of Learning Delivery Student Inclusion Division, which contributed to the success of the webinar, The New Normal in Education, Parents as Partners and Facilitators of Learning for Learners with Disabilities, via Zoom, conducted on September 21, 22, 2020. Given this 22nd day of September 2020 in Pasig City, Philippines. Signed, Diosdado M. San Antonio, Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instructions. Again, thank you very much to our partner, Good Neighbors International Philippines, for all the support you've extended to this activity. And we are looking forward to have another partners with you in relation to supporting children or learners with disabilities. Again, thank you very much.
Ayan. Thank you very much. Save the Children Philippines,
Yeah,
especially.
also, yes. Also, the Department of Education would like to award the Certificate of Recognition to Save the Children Philippines in sincere appreciation of the assistance extended to the Bureau of Learning Delivery Student Inclusion Division, which contributed to the success of the webinar, The New Normal in Education, Parents as Partners and Facilitator of Learning for Learners with Disabilities, via Zoom, conducted on September 21, 22, 2020. Given this 22nd day of September 2020 in Pasig City, Philippines. Signed, Diosdado M. San Antonio, Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instructions. Again, Save the Children Philippines has been our partner for so many years already, as far as programs for learners with disabilities and other inclusion programs that we have in the Department of Education. So again, with all our sincere thanks and gratitude to Save the Children Philippines for extending their forever support to the Department of Education, particularly to the Bureau of Learning Delivery Student Inclusion Division. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much po sa ating mga partners. And of course, we would like to extend our gratitude to Ma'am Ivy Fontalba for staying with us throughout the event. Ayan
Thank
po,
you very much, Ma'am
much.
Ivy.
Right.
Sila
At-
Ma'am Bisi,
Yes po.
sa Good Neighbors and Ma'am Ruth and others.
Right. At ang ating pong Good Neighbors International Philippines Department Head Vici Apostol, maraming salamat sa inyong pagtulong sa amin. Ma'am Ruth Giselle Reyes and Lori Tamares, buong puso po kaming nagpapasalamat sa inyo. And thank you. The word thank you is not really enough to express our gratitude sa pagtulong nyo sa DepEd. Ayan po. To formally close our webinar, we are joined by our OIC Director 3 of the Bureau of Learning Delivery. He's been supportive and a silent working ant in our bureau. Help me welcome Director Lito A. Palomar. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Miss Jen.
Yes po, good morning po, sir.
Yes, and good morning po sa ating mga viewers. First, I would like to congratulate the Bureau of Learning Delivery, the Student Inclusion Division team, headed by their dynamic chief, Dr. Jose June Tuginayo, for a job well done. Kailangan siguro may virtual clap para sa team na to. No? Again, congratulations to all of you. Our patnugots, Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction, Diosdado San Antonio. Our Assistant Secretary, Alma Ruby Torio, and Director for Dr. Leila Ariola. Thank you very much din po. I would also like to thank our partners. No, talagang ramdam na ramdam natin yung suporta ng Save the Children Philippines and Good Neighbors Philippines for making this international, for making this training possible. I would also like to thank our very competent speakers for sharing their expertise, their insights and experiences to ensure that our parents of learners with disabilities are properly guided. To our viewers, the learning community that is collaborating and maximizing every means to make learning for the coming school year possible, again, thank you very much. And of course, to our dear parents of learners with disabilities, thank you for tuning in. This one's specially made for you talaga. And with the line of the speakers in today's seminar, it is with great hope that our audience has learned a lot. We are saying that we are transitioning in the new normal, and no one amongst us is already expert in navigating the phenomenon. The modalities have changed, assessment has evolved, new materials have been produced, and new technologies have emerged. The learning environment transitioned, and everything has practically been changing. But one thing in this pandemic will never change is the heart of the parent. I am also a parent, and I find it challenging to both attend to my son's needs as a learner while doing my work at home. And I can only imagine how double the efforts of parents or of learners with disabilities are putting in, given the special needs that we need to take care of. And I thank all the parents for taking on the challenge to be our partner. And I salute all of you for not giving up on your child's education despite the challenge. We know that there might be a lot of things to learn, to unlearn, and we learn as a parent, but I humbly ask you of one thing, probably we should never forget. This is to take a deep breath and reflect. Whenever I put my hand on my chest, I actually feel my heart beating as a parent. Most of us are calling this heartbeat, but I call it purpose. Then and again, we take time to reflect on our own purpose. Why are we parents? Why are we parents of learners with disabilities? There is a grand purpose or reason for this. And that answer is found within our core. So you hold on to that core because that will give you the right supply of energy to continue supporting your children. With the right purpose realized, we can never go wrong as a parent. Again, maraming salamat po sa lahat and God bless.
Thank you very much po, Director.
Thank you, Sir Rito.
Thank you,
Salamat.
Sir June. Congratulations po sa team.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much
Thank
po. Ayan, sa aming Chief Dr. Jose Dito Ginayo Jr. for always being there at ang ating director na talaga namang napaka-supportive sa lahat ng aming mga endeavor na we wanted to share every trainings. Ayan po. So, I'd like to give an information regarding sa e-certificate natin. Alam ko, excited na kayo dito. It will be issued for those participants who completed the evaluation of the 2-day webinar. Link will be posted in the chat box for your reference. Kaya, wag po muna tayo mag-post ng kung ano-ano para makita nyo po yun. Baka matabunan natin at hindi nyo makita. So, Ma'am Erlinda Leva will be posting all the links. Patuloy po siyang magpo-post niyan para makuha niyo po yung link na yan. The link will be open right after the Zoom webinar. And of course, this will be closed at 6 p.m. today. So make sure po na ma-fill up niyo na yan. Marami po ang humihingi sa inyo ng PowerPoint presentation of the speakers. Of course, yung limang session natin, no, meron po tayong ibibigay sa inyo. But you have to visit our FB page that you can see right in your screen. You can also download previous presentation that may interest you. Makikita nyo po lahat yan dyan sa aming FB page. Naka-post na po yan ngayon sa inyo. Let's see kung ano po yung mga trainings na nandyan. Thank you very much po. Muli po, ito si Jennifer Capistranos from the Student Inclusion Division, Bureau of Learning Delivery, at umaasa po kami sa inyong pagsuporta sa susunod na webinar. Bye!
Mm.